the fuck is that guy?
I make my own moves, yeah, I'm bossing.
All weak bitches, please proceed to the exit.
Is there no one else? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
We are not for the weak.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Not for the Week. It's your boy James.
It is your boy Jay.
It's Wes. What's up?
Fuckboy Fitness in the building.
Motherfuck boy fitness.
And this episode is brought to you by BlastHouse Industries. BlastHouse.
Supplements dropping by the end of this month, I think.
Nope. Mid-November. We can talk about that. That'll be a topic we can talk about as well, because fuck everyone that doesn't that says they're going to do something and then doesn't do their job. Yeah. But yeah, BlastHouse coming February 2020.
Okay.
February 2020. So
BlastHouse.com though to sign up for the newsletter.
Mm-hmm. My birthday's on the 6th. The 6th. So
we should time it with your birthday.
Yeah. We could do like
It'll be our birthday gift to you.
There's your birthday present.
Birthday BlastHouse tub.
Yeah.
You know.
For you.
Yeah. I don't want anything free. I'll pay full price, you know. I'm a supporter.
Except on your birthday, right?
Except on my birthday, I will have a discount code. FingerBlast20. FingerBlast20 gets you not 20% off, but it'll save you.
It'll add 20% because Wes needs money for the bar.
Yes. Yeah. I do.
But yeah, that's a topic, dude. So I haven't touched on that on the podcast actually, because we've been taking the last 2 weeks off, but announced that starting supplement company, BlastHouse Industries. That's huge. Been working on it for like the last year. We were going to do it with Gunsmith, but then Gunsmith ended up kind of going away, and so we just kept kind of doing that and just creating a new brand with the badass people at Era 3, and now coming out with BlastHouse. So, but yeah, been working on that for like a year now, right? The whole target has always been January. January 1 was the original target date, right? So like we're like, oh, we're gonna release January 1. And then there's a lot of shit that goes into it, right? Like, it has to taste good. It has to be formulated good. Like, so a lot of back and forth with samples in the manufacturing process. And then everything was on point. Like September's like, oh yeah, we're starting to get nailed down the flavors. Mm-hmm. And then we submitted the labels, and the labels were wrong. So we had to redo the labels. They made us change the labels completely. And then we resubmitted them, and then the printing was off. Anyway, long story short, had to go back and forth an additional like 2 months of stuff, just little stupid things. And then finally, like December 8th or whatever, I gave the okay. I was like, go ahead, like run everything, paid deposits and stuff. And whatever, think everything's going good. Mm-hmm. I email our manufacturer on New Year's Eve just to check in, like, hey, when you get back in the office, let me know what's going on, how things are progressing. Are we still on point? He's like, oh, haven't gotten the labels yet. So I was like, what do you mean? Like, I okayed them. I told the label maker they're good, the label maker that they hooked us up with, right? And he's like, oh, I haven't gotten the labels yet. So I was like, well, that's not good. Mm-hmm. So I emailed the label maker, what's going on? Oh, yeah, we haven't gotten a purchase order for the labels from the manufacturer.
Oh, my God.
I was like, what? So timeline for this is basically it takes a week to print the labels, and then it takes 5 weeks for manufacturing.
Yeah.
So on January 1, when I was having this conversation with these guys, we're now 6 weeks out. And I was like, are you serious? Like, what happened? Like, I gave you guys the okay.
Yeah.
And the manufacturer guy's like, well, typically... he's like, well, I assume that you were going to send them the purchase order. I was like, was I supposed to send them the purchase? Like, is that normally how you guys do things? Do I normally send the purchase order? Mm-hmm. He's like, no, 99% of the time we send the purchase order.
Well, why the fuck would they think that you send the purchase order?
Exactly.
Yeah, dude. Why
would I send the purchase order then? Like, I'm going off of what you're telling me to do. You never said, oh, send the purchase order then.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's like, well, I assume that since like we had to do all the back and forth on the labels and you've been talking with the label manufacturer, I just assumed you'd do it. I was like, what the fuck is your job, dude?
No, this 1% of the time.
So basically, and then even if that was the case, 2 weeks have gone by.
Yeah.
and you didn't think to reach out to me like, hey, by the way, we haven't gotten the labels yet. Mm-hmm. Like, where was that? Where was the reaching out like, hey, by the way, haven't started production on your stuff, even though you've paid us and gave us the okay, because we haven't gotten your labels yet. So, no, he just sat on his ass, thumb up his butt, and then he got pissed at me on the phone. He was like, he started coming back at me because I was pissed on the phone. I was like, well, we need to handle this, dude. We need to take care of this now. And he started getting feisty with me. He's like, well, for the third time, like I told you, we haven't gotten I thought you assumed you were going to do the purchase orders.
That's on him.
That's on you, bro.
Yeah. You don't see, the thing is, I don't know a whole lot about business, because I don't have my own business or anything like that. But typically, you don't ever fucking assume anything.
Right? No,
like not even in your day to day.
And you don't blame
you don't assume anything.
Yeah.
And you definitely don't blame the fucking dude, or you definitely don't blame the guy who's giving you money saying to make this. You know what I mean?
Especially when you're supposed to lead the process.
Right.
So basically,
that's terrible customer service.
Oh,
that's terrible, just like business management on his part.
Well, you already paid him too. You'd already paid him.
We already paid a deposit.
So he just kind of leaves you hanging there, like in limbo. That's just that is like shitty customer service.
So basically, now it's looking like the original plan was January 1st, and then all this shit with the label happened, and so we kind of pushed it back to like mid-January, and now it's looking like mid-February. But I'm assuming I'm checking in again on Monday. Production should have already started, so we should be good to go for middle of February. So it sucks, but it's not ideal, but you got to roll with the punches.
Well, and it could be worse. They could have messed something else up that would have set you back months and months.
Yeah,
and months.
exactly.
So the thing is the ball is rolling. It's
rolling really slowly.
Apparently, you're the one who had to kick it. Yeah.
But speaking of customer service, like that. It's so frustrating when people. That's why I made that post. Like it's frustrating because like you assume that everyone wants you to do well and everyone has your best interest in heart, and like especially if you're like paying somebody or having somebody like help you with something, you assume that they're gonna work hard and want the best for you.
Yeah,
but it's not always the case. Like sometimes, obviously, there are some people that do care, but there's also a lot of people that are just like they're gonna do the bare minimum, or they're not gonna really. Like they don't really care about their job that much, right? So,
yeah.
But it's like that in everything.
I think that's the big thing too. Is like, and obviously that was kind of a BlastHouse just kind of like starting off. I think it's to be completely honest. I think it's shitty because this was the launch. This was kind of the kickoff here, and and so it got set back a little bit. But at the same time, I would say better for something like this kind of hiccup to happen earlier on, and now it's a learning experience. Now you see how that kind of bullshit can happen here and there, because now that sets you up to, next time be like, hey, if you or whatever, you pay the guy to, for a release to come out or whatever. Now you're on that shit.
Yeah. Now, well, really, like I was saying in my post, I made a post about this. Is like, it really is more of just a reminder, right?
Right.
Like it's one of those things where it's like if you're not reminded of that every now and then, you kind of just get complacent and you're like, oh yeah, everyone's going to do their job. But now it's like, oh shit, yeah, no, I have to keep everything moving forward, because if I don't, people are going to slack, and then it's going to hurt me in the long run.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure it's kind of like that what we were talking about before the podcast started. Like you were mentioning that stuff with like the drama with Guzman and his company. It's like he's got an established company, Alphalete,
right?
Like that's been around for like 6 years,
yeah,
right. And they had a hiccup apparently over Black Friday, and they're just getting destroyed over it because they're at such a high level now. Like luckily we haven't taken pre-orders or haven't released anything, and like our fan base, I guess, or like our consumer base is so small that like even if like 2 people got pissed, like that's not gonna like resonate through the rest of the world. Like those people aren't gonna be able to like reach as many people, whereas if like Alphalete, who's got like hundreds of thousands of customers,
you were saying what, 300 units or 3?
No, that was Gymshark. That was Gymshark.
Yeah.
But
Alphalete's up there though too.
They're huge.
That's Gymshark's enormous.
Yeah, Gymshark's like next. Gymshark's like Nike of the fitness industry.
Right.
Of like the social media fitness industry.
Yeah,
I wouldn't consider like Nike is still like fitness industry, but like
of like the bodybuilder.
Yeah, like the bodybuilder physique. Like
Well, Nike is like
gym,
sports.
Yeah. You know, Gymshark's like gym.
Right.
Gym based fitness.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's tough too, is when you get up, you know, I think that's that kind of a lot of people were touching on too, is when you get up to that level, you're kind of at that shit's gonna happen, you know, here and there, but it's just like I was saying, better to kind of learn from it and move on and just to kind of really be on it communication wise, because dude, I mean, when you start getting, you know, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, you know, people that are, you know, buying your product or you know, using codes to buy this shit, you're like, okay, so this all needs to flow, or I'm gonna look like shit if, you know, and that's unfortunate because I like Christian, so I, you know, but I mean, dude, it was over Black Friday, like we were talking about before. He's probably getting, that's a busy time for everyone.
That's the thing. It's like I know a bunch of guys in the industry, and I know a lot of guys that have really successful companies, and it's like Black Friday is a huge day for like everyone's business. Like most people's companies like rely on Black Friday to like make their year. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And every year Black Friday is going to get more and more intense as you grow, right? Yeah. Like every year you're going to get more and more orders. You're going to get more and more. You're going to have to like send out more and more orders. Right. You're gonna have more people packing orders. It's just a bigger thing every year, right? If assuming you're growing, right, and you can account for that, but sometimes you can't account for like, oh man, we're gonna do 4 times as much as we did last year. Like you may like plan like, hey, we're gonna do 2 times as much as we did last year. Like that's our goal. Yeah. And then boom, like maybe your shit goes viral and like you sell out instantly. Right. And it's like, whoa, shit, I wasn't expecting that. And now, like, how are we going to pack, 100,000 orders when we only have, 100 people? Like, yeah.
It's a catch-22. It's tough too, because you want to, especially being a business owner, I've seen it too, like firsthand, just with not necessarily with businesses like this, but I've seen like we were talking about the other night with Justin at the gym, this guy that I used to work for at this bar in California. Like I've seen this is very different, but at the same time, relating it to being a business owner, there are a lot of cogs turning. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff that you got to watch, and just you want to give the best, you want to do the best that you possibly can for the customers, you know what I mean? Because it's like in a way it's like they didn't make you, but like they're your
they're your support system,
right? Exactly. And that's what a lot of people were kind of were ripping on him for and stuff like that. And then like I was saying earlier too, though, it's a catch-22 because you also have people who are just so fucking impatient, so negative, and they don't think about things like, how many times has he released shit on time, or have you gotten the order, or you know what I mean, or how many drops
how many times has he gone above and beyond to get you your order, like even though there's been 1,000 orders or whatever, like you still got your order on time, it was right. But see, that's the thing, is like there's a lot of things that go into that. There's Christian is not individually shipping every order, right? Like he has employees. Some employees suck. That's not always on the business owner. Yes, you should weed them out, but sometimes you don't catch them, right? Like sometimes somebody slips through the cracks. Right. Also, he's got a fulfillment company. That's a separate company that's handling that shit. Right. Thirdly, he has the order, the platform that's taking all the orders. Like maybe there's a screw up there. Maybe it crashes. Who knows? Then he has the delivery services like the UPS, the DHL, like all those people that handle it. Like sometimes they lose shit. Sometimes they delay shit. Sometimes stuff gets like hung up, right? Especially if you're shipping international. I'm sure there was a lot of international orders on Black Friday. Like so, it's like, I guarantee you that Christian didn't go out of his way to be like, you know what, fuck the customers, like everyone gets their order next month.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like,
and that's a big problem. That's a big problem with being the face of something, right? Right. That's the problem with being the face of like something that sells, like a company or anything like that, is anytime anyone else on the other side screws up, it's not that you didn't do your job, it's that someone else didn't do their job. But because you're the face, you're what people associate the brand or whatever it is with, it's your fucking fault, right?
Yeah.
So it's like even like with car sales and something like that, if something goes wrong with finance, or they take long to detail the car, or they take too long to wash it, or they didn't wash it good enough, anything like that, it's my fault.
Right.
And I have nothing to do with finance. I have nothing to do with washing and detailing vehicles. I have nothing. I'm here to sell you a vehicle. That's it. Let's make a deal.
Yeah.
That's my job. But that's the face.
Yeah, you're
I'm
their
the
contact.
face.
They don't know the guy that's detailing.
Exactly.
the car.
I am the face of the next 7 years of the vehicle that you're going to have, right? So if anything happens, people automatically say, that guy right there, he did me dirty. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, their car breaks down 4 years down the road. It's like, you know what? That Jeremy guy, he sold me a shitty car. It's like, that was a brand new Jeep. Yeah, my bad. I didn't
get a warranty with it, like I said. But it's just, regardless of the position that you're in, if you're the face, you're the face, and the face takes the punches, man. It's just one of those things. Face takes the punches.
It's gonna happen too. Stuff like that's gonna happen every once in a while. It's not always gonna be smooth sailing. You know what I mean? Like kind of talking. I'll just I'll like Jaredani kind of coming at people and stuff like that. I like the dude, and I like Young LA. I think it's a great company, really affordable stuff, good quality shit. But it's probably something like that is probably going to happen to Young LA as they continue to grow.
The thing
I
is,
don't wish that upon them.
Levels,
but it's exact. They've been around for like 2 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're like brand new,
and they're not at that point yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once you get to like, it's there's different levels to it. Like like when I remember our third like Black Friday with Gunsmith was huge. It was our massive Black Friday thing, and it was like, holy shit, we've never had this many orders, and it was only like 100 or so, maybe 200 orders in like one day. It was like
that's a lot. Yeah.
It was like that's a lot, but like then you think of like Flagner Fail or like Alphalete. They're getting like 10,000 orders in a day on Black Friday, or then you look at like Gymshark that moved 3 million units over Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's like there's levels to this shit.
I wonder like how many people are working on, like how many people did you have like helping you?
It was just me and Cam. That first day.
See, if you take that and then you take Gymshark, you know what I'm saying? It's like they had like 3 million or whatever units or whatever, but like you were saying, there's levels.
They have an entire factory of people packing those orders. Totally. It's like they got like a couple hundred. They have at least like close to 1,000 employees, I would think.
And that'll make it so that I mean, even if you have people who are doing the bare minimum, it's a
well-oiled machine at that point, because to get to that point, you have to go through those growing pains, and that's all it is. It's growing pains. You know what I mean? Like Alphalete's growing, his brand is expanding. He's also, but it's like, and people will see like his social media and they see what he's doing on a daily basis, and they assume that oh man, he's in the Bahamas or he's got a new car. Like, why is he doing all this shit when he should be out there like packing orders? Like, that's not his job, dude.
Yeah.
He employs people to do that, right? Like, he can't be hands-on 24/7 with every business he owns, because it's just not realistic.
Totally. And once again, that goes back to the fact that the face takes the punches, man.
Yeah.
And it also goes back to that social media is such a toxic place sometimes, that there are just people just sitting there waiting for you to fuck up.
And that exactly like what you just said too. That just goes to show you had people digging up information from him from like a couple years ago, or like there were people that were digging up information from him back when he was like with Nikki or whatever, and throwing shade at him for that, and with Heidi and all this stuff. All because of this, and it's not even related. It's not even related to that.
But because something negative happened, they're like, "Oh, there must be other stuff. Let's go digging." And that's like, it's
that's such a toxic fucking thing. But that's what people like. That's what gets engagement, are these controversial, negative. It's like cool. It's like not cool to be positive anymore. You know what I mean?
It really is.
How fucking like evil is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not cool to be like a fucking like positive minded like influencer these days. It's like, no, it's cool to like see somebody else fuck up and then like give them a bunch of shit and make them feel like shit about it. It's like, who the fuck are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that actually makes me so mad, because like sorry for like saying that, but like literally, like, no, dude, I have so much respect for Christian.
No, he's a good guy,
and Alphalete wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And it's like, so this one this one hiccup
Well,
is like now,
Well, you just look at all the people that he's impacted and had a positive effect on over the years, and then you take one negative thing, albeit it's a big mess up, right? Like for those that we didn't cover what happened with Alphalete, but apparently on Black Friday they got a lot of orders, and people didn't receive their order from Black Friday for like a month. There were a lot I had a couple Black Friday orders that took several weeks for me to get to.
It happens.
Or that I received this year.
It's really bad if you go to Alphalete's page and you look at, I believe it's the last post, or it's the post with Christian Guzman on it. It's him wearing that black Alphalete hoodie with the barcode, the white barcode on the side. I think it's their last post. It's like blown up. Like thousands of comments are on it in comparison to like their other posts that'll only have like 50, 60 comments, and it's usually all like positive stuff. They have like a good follow, like they have like a good positive following usually. And then this one just got roasted. Like everybody's like, where's my order? I got the wrong, people are saying they got like the wrong stuff sent to them, just like all this stuff. And it's frustrating. I get it. It's frustrating, but it's just really shitty to see how not very understanding people are. And just exactly, dude. Like when you get really popular like that, it just spreads like wildfire. You know what I mean? And to the point where people are messaging Giordani about a video that was posted a month ago with Christian having one of his athletes try stuff on. And now they're roasting him about that.
Well, and the thing is when everything goes right and everything's said and done, you get your order or whatever, you're excited about it. You're happy you got your stuff. You probably don't really tell anybody, right?
Yeah.
You wear it to the gym or whatever. Someone's like, oh, that's cool. You're like, oh, yeah, I just got it, whatever. You don't get your order or you get sent the wrong stuff. Now you're telling everybody.
Right.
So that's just for whatever reason, people just put so much, so much energy into the wrong things.
100%.
It's crazy.
And it's a really dangerous precedent on social media. And it's like it is like I was watching that Kevin Hart documentary on Netflix. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't watched it yet.
I saw it, but
and
I haven't watched it.
They go into his like that controversy he had where he made like some jokes about gay people and like if his son was gay.
Oh yeah.
He's like if my kid ever came in and
he's like, stop
they
that,
wanted to
that's
play
gay.
with a dollhouse, I'd beat him over the head with it and say stop that, that's gay or something. But and he got roasted for that, right? He got he got in a lot of trouble. He lost a lot of things. Like they took him off the Oscars or whatever for it. And Kevin Hart's a good dude. Like he's done a lot of great things over the years. And at the time, that was an acceptable joke. Yeah. Like people thought that was funny, right? Like now we've gotten to this point where it's not funny, right? It's obviously if I was, gay, I would probably not find it super hilarious, right? I'd probably find it a little offensive, but at the time it was kind of acceptable, right? Like it was like when I was in high school, you'd say that's gay, like, or you're gay, like, but it wasn't like, oh, you're homosexual. It was more like, you suck,
you're uncool,
yeah, you're not cool,
yeah.
Which say what you want, like, yeah, that's not a good use of the phrase or whatever.
It's still
right?
technically considered derogatory,
still hurtful and derogatory. Yeah. But like when I was in high school, that was an acceptable thing to say, right? You say that nowadays, you're gonna get roasted for it.
Well, and dude, like, so I work with a gay guy, super gay guy. He's cool, but he's gay. He says things are gay more than I do. So it's a weird thing because
it's okay for him to say.
Society it says don't say that. That's bad. But you have actual gay people saying that's fucking gay, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he says that. Work with him every day.
But it's just like it's
you know what I mean?
It's kind of like the N-word, right? Like
right.
You hear that in every rap song there is.
Yeah.
But you can't use that on a regular basis.
If you're
right?
not black,
yeah.
Right.
So, but beside the point, we're not even getting into like whether that's okay to say that's gay or all that. It was more of the fact that people went through Kevin Hart's Twitter. They went 5 years deep on his Twitter to find that tweet. 5 years. Like
Kevin Hart tweets a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. And have you ever tried to look up old tweets on Twitter? That's a long. It's a long process to scroll all the way down because it only shows like 10 at a time, and then you got to click see more, and then it loads 10 more. So you're going deep.
And if you tweet a lot,
and if you tweet a lot or like a lot or retweet a lot, it's like
Which
people,
he does.
people going through a lot of effort to dig up old stuff. It's like, why?
Well, what happens during a campaign, during like a presidential campaign?
Oh, it's only going to get so much worse.
Yeah.
Like moving forward, like think 10, 15 years down the road when like people that grew up with social media, right? Like I think you have to be like 36 to run for president or run for public office or like I think it's 36 to run for president, maybe it's not, maybe it's a little higher.
Yeah.
But let's say 15 years down the road when like all these kids that were born in like 2000 who have grown up with social media and Twitter now are like in their late 30s and 40s, like think of all the dumbass shit that these kids have probably tweeted throughout the years, like all the nudes, all the Snapchat nudes, all the stupid like quoting rap songs and quoting Lil Peep and 6ix9ine and like just all the stupid shit that they've tweeted or like the inappropriate jokes they've made over the years. And now when we get 15 years down the road, all these kids are going to be like, oh shit, like nobody's going to have a clean slate.
What about the person who wants to run for president?
That's what I mean. Like nobody's going to have a clean slate, dude.
Well, that's what I was going to say. What happens when somebody runs for president? Oh, all of a sudden we start hearing all these theories or all these things about him in this political. That, to be completely honest, I don't really follow politics for that reason because it's so fucking like stressful. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like during that period of time,
there's just so much information.
There's so much information. Everybody hates everybody because like, oh, you're a Republican, I'm Democratic, so we just aren't gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not even gonna try to like listen to what you're saying because like blah blah blah, just shit like that. It's so like stressful. So I'm just like, okay.
And now we're gonna add in the drama of dick pics and inappropriate text messages. From 25 years
Tinder
ago.
swipes.
Oh man, he swiped left on this person.
Yeah.
He hates fat people.
Oh, the world sucks. Dude. I hate being alive.
No,
sometimes.
to be completely honest, like one thing I was fucking gonna go on a rant about, but like a good kind is listen up, guys. Listen listen the frick up, okay? I was thinking long and hard about this on the drive over here. I've actually been listening to podcasts lately. I've been kind of, figuring out what people like to talk about and stuff like that. Not just that, but like people need to work on like this art of confidence that derives from apathy in a way of like just not, and what I mean by that is not giving a fuck. Like, and I'm just gonna say that, like, I'm serious. Like, and that I was gonna touch on that with like, dude, okay, gay people, whatever. I'm cool with it. Do whatever you want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. Just like we are never going to live in a world where everything caters to everyone.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We are not going to live in a world where everything caters to everyone. If you wake up every day and you constantly think like, oh, well, I need to be careful about posting this because I'm going to offend this person, or I need to be careful about, that's not you then. You're not being you. You're not being genuine. Like, and that's the thing is like, you need to have like some thicker skin, or you need to like, to a point, like if somebody's just being blatantly rude to you, or somebody's just, you know what I mean? That's different. If somebody's coming at you and, taking some jabs, that's different. But people just stop getting offended over everything. First of all, it's social media, it's Twitter, it's Instagram. Don't take that so seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be so mad about this guy from India ripping on blah 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 about that you don't even know, and now you're pissed off about it because you've been going back and forth with him for an hour about, like, you know what I'm saying? Frick that guy, whatever, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
frick him,
frick that guy. Just like, I just think like people need to work on. And I think like that's the thing with me. Like, I'm not a role model by any means.
To some, maybe.
I could be, but you know what I mean. I
don't know how I want to meet that fucked up person.
I'm a bad guy. All right. But one thing I'll tell you is, I don't care like what people like really think about me. I mean, I guess I'd say like my close friends, like you guys, like if I was disappointing you guys, I'd be like, okay, I got to work on some stuff.
Yeah, that's a different
people
thing.
who are relevant in your life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But
people let too many people that don't have an impact on their day-to-day life.
Yeah,
affect their day-to-day life.
Totally. But people getting worked up about, you know what I'm saying. Like, I just, dude.
Well, so like
drives me crazy.
And DaBaby says it.
Yeah.
Shout out to DaBaby.
Shout out to DaBaby, but DaBaby says it in a song. He says, "I don't give a fuck about the world, just about my people."
Yeah.
And I mean,
yeah.
Quoting DaBaby, that's funny, but like that's really true. You know what I mean? The only thing you need to be concerned about if you're going to be concerned about others is your immediates, right?
Yeah.
Like the people
who has a genuine impact on
yeah,
on your
exactly.
day-to-day life.
People who affect your life,
Totally.
right now, because fucking Bill down the road, I
Yeah.
don't give a shit about him and
Yeah.
what he does. And guess what? If he don't give a shit about me, what does it matter to me?
Yeah. Yes.
Going back to your point though, like that is a really good point though. That there's, you notice it especially in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of and I'm related back to the fitness industry because we're all in the fitness industry basically.
Yeah.
When you look at like other like fitness influencers, right? Like I hate that word, but other fitness influencers, right? Everyone kind of looks the same, right? Because everyone is scared to say what they truly mean because they're worried about offending somebody. They're worried about like getting like bashed by somebody. There's very few people that like genuinely speak their mind and don't care what other people like. Rich was a really good example. That's why Rich was so polarizing and like people loved Rich because he said what was on his mind. Like, it didn't matter how ridiculous it was. He didn't care what people thought. Yeah. Or like there's other people like that. Like Seth Feroce is another good example. Like Seth Feroce just speaks his mind. Like he has good dick days. Like shit like that. Like it's stupid, but it's like that's who he is. But there's too many people out there that are just trying to, and I think that's why like Gymshark gets a like bad name because all the Gymshark athletes kind of look the same. They all say the same thing. Like none of them are controversial. None of them really kind of like.
Right.
And I get that. And part of that.
And part of that is because it appeals to a much wider range, right?
That's their brand.
Yeah, that's their brand.
That's
exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's the thing that they've created. And like, it's the same thing with, sorry to cut you off. It's the same thing with, Dutch Bros. A lot of people are like, dude, Dutch Bros are like robots there. It's like, that's the brand. That is the brand, though. That they specialize in that wow factor, in that like very specific customer service. That very like, and they hire specific type of people to work there,
and they're trying to become a national brand. Right now, they're kind of like a regional brand. Still, they're like a West Coast brand, and they're trying to become a national brand. They're trying to compete with like Starbucks, and people like hate on Starbucks, like Starbucks is all the same, like. Well, Starbucks is trying to is a national brand. Like you can't be super controversial at that level because there are too many people that will. You're too big. You'll become a target immediately. Yeah, and there's too many people that won't agree with that. Like there's a lot of people that don't go to Starbucks because it's a big national chain, but there's a lot of people that go to Starbucks on a regular basis because it's everywhere.
It's what you know.
So like you can't take controversy and like being an outsider and like speaking your mind all the time and make that a massive brand on a like global scale because it's too hard to recreate. There's going to be too much controversy inside your company probably. Like people are going to like get in trouble. It's and you're going to get some negative impact from the general public. But like you can take certain influential people like it's tough because like on like a brand name like that, but like then there's like Dan Bilzerian who used to be super controversial, like with a lot of guns, like a lot of super like scandalous stuff, but he had to even scale back to grow his brand and grow Ignite. Yeah, like he doesn't post as much about the guns anymore. He doesn't like post as much of the super wild shit, like him throwing a stripper off the roof of his house or something. Like he does more like the Playboy Mansion style, like. Outside the box stuff, but
that works for his brand.
Yeah, but he's even scaled it back to grow Ignite. You know what I mean?
It's a marketing technique specifically for that. I mean, you look at Vitali now, and what's his page? Do you guys follow him, Vitali?
I don't follow.
I follow him a little bit. Like he's gone into that like Girls Gone Wild because he's like got kicked off YouTube or whatever. Right? Like he's
just what's appealing to the masses. You know,
but also he's appealing to the masses, but like. He's like in the counterculture almost because he's posting a lot of like sex and like kind of questionable pranks and stuff. And so it's like he's had to come off of mainstream, right? Like if he was good, he probably would have figured out a way to continue to stay on YouTube.
Right.
But he's kind of branching off. And who knows that's a different industry though. Like that's almost like the porn industry, which is like you can get away with a lot more shit.
Which there already is a very fine line between the fitness industry and the porn industry, to be completely honest.
I mean,
there really
certain
is.
Levels to it. There's I can only imagine. Like look at OnlyFans. Look at how many. Yeah, like OnlyFans is just porn for fitness chicks.
Yeah, if you look good, here's a page of me
with my fucking asshole.
Yeah,
bro. I would like to. Speaking of OnlyFans,
you would like to start an OnlyFans account?
yeah, basically. You know, I got some dudes that hit me up like, "Hey, man, start an OnlyFans." No,
I'm like actually over here like thinking about. I'm like, you guys see me like making a page.
I could see Wes with a premium Snapchat just of your nights.
If I leaned out a bit,
yeah,
I've thought about it.
Anyway, so somebody on Twitter, it wasn't somebody I follow, but it was like, you know how it shows like people liked like a tweet, and so it'll pop up on your thing. Someone liked it, and it was this girl, and she posted like how much money she was making off her OnlyFans.
Yeah,
and it was like a screenshot of like the payouts, and it was like January this much, February this much, and it was like $3,000-$4,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a lot, like. It wasn't.
That's
like,
a lot to post,
but
videos.
it wasn't a lot. Like it's not like a massive. It's good for like a secondary source of income, but like it's not as good as like a full time job. She's making like $36,000 a year, right?
She technically could, depending on where.
Yeah,
she's
depending
at
on where she lives, like depending on what her expenses are like, that's maybe a full time job.
She could just live off that almost.
But I was like, damn, that's not bad. Like, but then I clicked on it, and she was not cute at all, not in shape, like. Just like I hate to use this because I don't want to offend some people in Grants Pass, but she was like average Oregon chick.
Okay,
You know
average
what I mean?
Grants
Like
Pass chick.
average Grants Pass.
Cave Junction, maybe.
You know, maybe 4 kids.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe dabbled in a little bit of meth.
Some people are into that.
Maybe
amateur shit.
eats in and out way too late at night. You know, so she was a bit overweight.
Wow.
She was not like model attractive.
She was making
at all.
$4,000.
And she was making $4,000 a month. So I was just thinking about like, damn.
Show her
Imagine some of these girls like with like 1 million fans on Instagram or whatever that like are legitimate like Instagram models, right? Like say what you want about them. Like not everyone's got different tastes, but like are probably more widely accepted as attractive than this girl, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And those girls are probably making like 15, 16 G's a month
off of posting once again butthole pics.
Like that's a legitimate like career. Like obviously longevity wise, like probably not a whole lot of longevity.
Well, like you could do that for a bit though. You could do your main gig, whatever it is, your main hustle, and then you could do that. I don't know how many hours a week on average she's putting into just doing that, but I mean, you could make it good.
Probably not.
She's blocking out on the schedule 2 hours for nudes today.
I mean, well, think about it though. You don't have to do that because all you have to do is take one nude, and then whoever subscribes to you, you send them that same exact nude. Nobody knows it's the same pic.
Yeah.
I don't even necessarily know how it goes. Like, do they send it to them, or is it? Is
I don't know
it like a Facebook page where like you just post?
I know OnlyFans. Jay knows. Jay has a subscription.
So usually how it works.
How do you not know? About
I to be completely honest, I know my ways of getting in there for free. So I just don't have a. I don't have a subscription.
I'm too broke to have that stuff.
Yeah,
I have too many subscriptions as is. I don't need any OnlyFans.
Yeah, I've already got.
I got Hulu. I got Disney Plus. I got Netflix. Like.
Pornhub Premium.
You have Netflix?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Why is it weird?
Who pays for Netflix?
Because everybody just has their ex-girlfriend's Netflix.
Chrissy pays for Netflix. We split it.
Oh.
I pay for HBO and Disney Plus and
Nice.
Dude, HBO on Hulu is like $14 a month more.
HBO and
then
Hulu combined?
Yeah.
HBO is like $14.99 a month.
Yeah, HBO is like $14.99 a month, and if you have the Hulu with no ads, that's $11.
Yeah.
So you're already paying $25 a month just for HBO and Hulu, and then if you get Stars, which has like some good shows on it too, that's like another $20.
And then if you get Hulu Live TV, it's like $40 a month.
Yeah, so you're basically paying for cable.
You guys have
No, you're still not though. Like I remember we had cable, it was like $100 a month.
But think about that. $40+ a month for Hulu, like $12 for Netflix, $7 for Disney Plus.
No, because they have a thing where if you
$10.99 for
you bundle
Pornhub.
Disney Plus and
ESPN Plus
and ESPN
for
Plus
$12.
and Hulu, whatever.
But is that premium though?
I don't fucking know. Dude.
Hulu has live
I don't
sports.
know, man. There's too many streaming services,
Yeah,
and it's just about to get more and more.
Somebody posted a screenshot of an app that they downloaded that specifically keeps track of all of their subscriptions.
Yeah,
all
I've seen that. It's,
like
need
Truebill
I
or
need to
something
get one like
that.
that.
I'm curious to see. I don't have like a ton.
I have a bunch of random ones. Like I have stupid like social media ones, like it's like an app that's like $5 a month that I totally forget about and always mean to like cancel.
Dude, I have a lot of random subscriptions too, like EA Access. I have EA Access on my Xbox.
Oh, Xbox Live,
and Xbox
I forget
Live.
about that every.
I don't have a
month.
month. I have a yearly subscription.
Oh.
It's like $40 for the year.
Really?
Yeah,
That's the way to do
I
it.
need to do
it's
that.
way
then.
it's way better.
I think it's like $10 a month that I'm paying.
You're paying. What does that come out to? $120.
$120. Something like that. Yeah. I need to get back on the Xbox Live time. I need to find a better way.
Join our Fortnite crew, bro.
Yeah, dude, we got 3 of us that play. 4 of us. 4 of us.
Yeah,
we got a whole.
we
We got a whole
Braden,
squad.
But we're willing to trade Jeremy out.
Okay.
What the fuck?
tryouts?
I'm not that bad.
He's probably better than me.
You FIFO'd like 10 times,
Bro, I killed it.
I can't believe
by
you.
myself. I kill it
Yeah,
by myself.
yourself. Yeah, so no one knows that he's good.
Just
probably
teaming
play-
up with random people.
You probably play with 73-year-olds, so you're the
I kill it by myself. Bro.
fucking liar. I don't
I
believe
won
it.
last night.
It doesn't make sense because you FIFO as soon as we draw.
No, because I you know what? I take the back seat when I play with you guys because I let you guys lead and dictate everything.
Here's how it goes. As soon as we land, Mooney's like, "Oh, I got knocked. Oh, they killed me."
You guys always pick the worst places to go.
I don't pick any of the places.
That's what I
we
mean.
go.
Like I when I pick where I want to go, I do all right. Anyway,
Are there different playlists for Fortnite? Are there different I mean, like, you know how like Call of Duty there's like deathmatch, domination, like are there different? Is it all the same?
I mean,
shit?
you have duos, which is where it's a squad
like
of
2
2.
Okay, that's cool.
it's just like different squad sizes.
And then you have like squad, which
there's
is
other shit, but like,
But the goal is ultimately all the same.
yeah,
Well, for what?
just
Okay.
kill everybody.
Okay.
yeah, be the last team standing.
Okay.
And you have a free for all, which is a bullshit ass
That's not even worth playing.
close quarters. Everyone's super super good.
And you die instantly.
and they all build up, and then you're like fighting from towers, and then and when you die, you get dropped into a tower that's already full of 10 people, and they kill you. So that sucks. But we're not gonna get into a video game tangent too much because we did that last
Dude,
time.
have you guys? Let's talk about some current events. Did you guys hear about this chick? Hold on, I'll pull it up real quick.
Mia Khalifa, dude. I know.
No,
I'm just kidding.
bro,
She's tight.
Yeah.
Mia Khalifa has to be the most annoying person on the planet.
She actually is very annoying.
I've never.
Like-
do you guys follow her on something?
No, I don't
like,
follow
I
her.
watch
But
her
I
interviews.
always see like
All
people
kinds of
posting
interviews.
articles about shit that she says,
Yeah.
and I'm like, who are you to think like she's apparently she's a huge sports fan, and she's always posting like
Oh, I
negative
know.
stuff on like
She's
on,
been a
like,
cheerleader before, so
Oh, nice.
yeah, but she's like posting some. She's always like talking about like. What was that one? She had some college quarterback slid in her DMs, and then she roasted him for playing for like Florida State or something. I don't know. She talks a lot of shit
Yeah.
for somebody that's never played sports.
This is my.
well, I mean, if you watch some of her videos, she's
She's familiar with balls,
Yeah.
and playing around with some balls.
Hey.
So, no, I want to talk about this chick though that because obviously there's that shit going on in Australia where Australia is basically
Fawn melting.
melting
ground.
into.
If you guys don't know about that, go check it out. It's fucking
Dude,
sad.
it's super sad. Like
Yeah.
some of the images, like Chrissy showed me one the other day. It was like a
Kangaroo.
kangaroo just
Oh.
like charred and just like, oh man,
yeah, it's terrible.
it's terrible. So if you guys haven't already, go check out. There's a bunch of charities raising money for it. Go donate to that. But speaking of raising money, I don't know if you guys heard about this chick. Her name's like Kaylin Ward, and she's basically an Instagram model. And this kind of goes back to the positivity on social media being like a negative thing, right?
Yeah.
So she's an Instagram model, and she goes by the Naked Philanthropist. And basically, she was like saying, if you donate $10 to Australia, I will send you one nude.
Cool.
Every $10 you send, you get another nude, right? Like so. Just send her the receipt that you donated, and she'll send you a nude of herself.
Might have to do some
And
research.
she raised over $100,000
Oh wow.
Wow.
on social media doing that. Like just
that's
and today she actually got her Instagram deleted.
No
Whoa.
way.
They deleted her Instagram.
She's helping.
Yeah. She's good.
What?
She's good on Twitter, but she posted on Twitter that they deleted her Instagram, probably for violating community terms, or somebody reported her because she's, she posted like she posted some of the nudes, but like with like stars and whatever. And
That's
like,
the problem. Is she probably shouldn't have done that.
but like you can't see anything. She posted like big emojis covering up like the spots. It basically looks like bikini.
Who is looking at that and seeing? Oh, she's donating.
It's just because it's nudes, right? Like there's such a stupid like outrage culture about that. Like
that's not right.
But she raised $100,000. Like that's a lot of nudes.
Yeah.
It's also a lot of fucking pervy dudes.
That's 10,000 nudes, by the way. That's 10,000.
That's a lot.
That's 10,000.
That's assuming that like everyone donated once.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a couple guys that were like, "Hey, I'll slide it."
Yeah.
If I slide $100 in there, do I get a video or something?
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
But it's dope. It's dope that she raised that much money. But then it's also like, what the fuck? Instagram?
Yeah.
Why? Come on, man.
Dudes just care about nudes. You know
I wonder if like one of those dudes like girlfriends or something.
Oh, 100%. There was some salty chick that was like, this whore.
Wow.
But there's just so many annoying people on social media.
Yeah.
Like if you're not following somebody and their shit pops up on your thing, like just scroll past it, right? Like you don't have to report it. Like you're not following them. Like they slip through the cracks or something.
Who cares?
Like just move on.
Who cares?
Or if you are following her and you're like, oh man,
I don't agree with what you're doing.
unfollow.
Yeah,
That's what the button's for.
Hit
Unfollow.
that unfollow button. Why are you following them to begin with?
My boy Dylan, right? He posted this. He posted a selfie in the mirror, him after his gym session, and it was like game style. He was wearing his like compression shorts, you could see full dick print on the
I saw
up down
that.
the leg.
I saw that.
And it got removed from Instagram like 4 times.
Why?
Because you can see the outline of a dick, and somebody reported it. But somebody reported it, basically, is what it happened. And it's like,
they were jealous. They're like,
Why
this
are you
dude's dick's way better than mine.
following? Why are you following?
and it's like, like, why are you following?
Like,
Why are you still following?
yeah,
And why are you such a fucking pussy?
yeah.
Like literally, there's girls on Instagram that post nudes and just blur out the nipple.
Yeah.
Like it's literally a nude with like a blur spot over the nipple.
I follow a photography page where it is and
you could tell us, bro.
it's like literally all they do is shoot pictures of naked chicks,
And it's literally just blurred, probably.
and it's
Just a tiny little blur.
You see the whole nipple. It's just a little
It's
blur.
pixelated a little bit.
And it's not a big page.
No.
It's it's a smaller page, but it's like
yeah.
but
But
and
nobody's
the butt's not
reporting
blurred.
that.
Bare butt cheek if it's a butt shot.
Yeah.
Titties if they're big titties. I mean, you still see the whole tit.
Yeah.
It's just blurred nips.
It's like, what's the difference? Like at this point, like
Yeah, because it's art.
I remember we did that video for Gunsmith like a couple years ago, and it was like the girls playing volleyball in bikinis or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That shit, I tried to use that as an ad, or I tried to boost that as an ad.
Mm-hmm.
Inappropriate content wouldn't let it run as
We
an
didn't even
ad.
have any girls
There
in
was no
bikinis.
nudes. They were all wearing crop tops, right?
But they were wearing
they were wearing
bikini
bikini
bottoms.
bottoms, but
So-
whatever.
That
But-
for Instagram nowadays though was literally
That's like the tamest thing ever. Right?
Yeah.
But like then there's this girl I saw the other day. She somebody was showing me is like she basically posted this nude with like the little pixelated nipples, right? Like, and it wasn't even like good pixelation. And she posted it up, and then we were laughing about it because it got deleted, right? Like Instagram took it up. She put it back up, but she put the word nude, or no, she put the word clothing over each nipple, and then like her butt crack or something. And Instagram left it. Like it was fine.
That's weird.
But it's the same fucking photo.
Yeah.
And it's just
I wonder what like somebody with like somebody like I don't know, Summer Rae or something, whatever, a girl with like a lot of like a ton of followers, like millions of followers. I wonder how they get away, like how they're able to, because that there's just random people. It's like when you watch a video and there's always dislikes, no matter whose video it is. There's always like 10 dislikes, 10. You know what I mean? Like always. There's people that are randomly going up to that picture and reporting it or blah blah. I wonder what keeps it up.
I wonder what the threshold is, like
Yeah.
the amount of like reported comments it takes to get something deleted, because like they're doing that question thing, right? Like on Instagram, like you do your questions, and now people are starting to spam the questions.
Yeah, that's so
right.
annoying.
So I report every single one is like spam,
Yeah.
but those accounts don't get deleted, right?
Right.
Like, so I wonder, like, what is the threshold for that? Like, how many people have to report that as spam before it becomes like Instagram does something?
I wonder if
The
it's
shitty thing is that we'll never know because nobody ever talks from Instagram. And like this girl that got her shit deleted,
Yeah.
she had like a couple 100,000 followers, right?
Yeah.
And she was doing good things, positive stuff,
Yeah.
and got deleted.
Well, in
And
sex
now
sells, man.
she's never going to get it back.
Sex has been selling since the fucking 60s.
And now,
Since the Stone Age.
sex has been selling forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
forever.
That's just
And
how
now
it
it's
is,
actually doing
man.
something. And now it's a positive. It's positive
Yeah.
sex.
I want to
It's good sex.
sit the person down or whoever did that, and I want to be like, okay, think about why.
Why are you
did
so
what you did.
angry?
Think about being like, oh my god, like this girl is like selling
Just
nudes,
outraged.
But why is she doing it though?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She
Outraged.
donated the money to a country
she
or
didn't
a
even-
continent that's on fire.
Well, she didn't
That's
donate
all-
anything. The thing is she
used her platform.
influenced 10,000 people to donate to a good cause.
That probably weren't maybe not going to donate
No
already.
one?
Maybe half of those probably were going to donate already, but
Yeah.
No, but it doesn't matter. Honestly, if you think about it, no one actually paid for a nude.
no.
Nobody ever said, "Here's
She's just
$10."
rewarding good behavior.
I wonder if people were thinking that she was pocketing some of the money.
No,
How
because,
could
no,
she do
no,
that?
she wasn't because they weren't. The money wasn't going to her. It
Oh,
was literally
okay.
people
That's what I'm
submitting
saying.
Yeah.
receipts of, "Hey, I donated
Yeah.
$10 to the Red
Yeah.
Cross or whatever."
That-
to
No, if they just wanted to give her the money, then that's
that's
on
different.
them.
That's like, "Hey, I'll donate $2 from every nude sale that I get to Australia."
Yeah, it all just circles back to people that
Just negative fucking people,
dude,
man.
and it's always gonna, and it's really a shame to see that like that is more popular, is that negativity and a social media platform that allows. I could be sitting here and I could be talking to somebody from New York, or you know what I'm saying? Like that's how crazy social media is, that I can communicate with somebody on the other side of the freaking country. And but having that having that mindset of just always finding the negative in every situation, and then having the ability to like just comment on anybody's picture or delete someone's account or influence somebody to delete somebody's account. Where do we go with that?
Well, that's the
You know
thing
what I
too.
mean?
Is like,
Like-
if you're looking for something negative, you're
Yeah.
always going to find something negative.
Yeah.
Like there's always going to be something you can pick out. Like,
Right.
the problem is, why are you looking for something negative?
Yeah. There's a difference between, some people will probably come at that and say like how like there's people who like are, well, in a way like proud but never satisfied. They're always seeing how to. There's a difference between always addressing what's wrong and improving that, and then always seeing what's wrong and just roasting somebody for that, because that doesn't improve anything. You know
No,
what
it
I'm saying?
just tears people down.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, it almost tries to make you feel like you're better.
Oh, 100%. People, and I think it was, I don't even know, it might have been Josh or somebody posted something that I was actually like, oh, that's actually pretty good. And I think it was like people who are above you, so to say, or like who are doing maybe better than you with or whatever, or more successful than you in whatever aspect of life, will never be the ones who are like shitting on you.
100%.
For, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be somebody that's like, I don't know, just wants to see you fail.
Well, it's always somebody that's beneath you. It's never anybody. Like, the people that are above you are too worried about what they have going on to like worry about dragging you down. It's always the people that don't have anything going on,
Right.
that are like bored and like sitting at home, and they're like, you know what, he's doing really good, but you know what, fuck that guy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like the way he does his hair.
Yeah.
I don't like his nose.
Yeah.
I don't like his girlfriend. That
Stupid.
picture was stupid. Report it.
And it just circles back to just like, I think one thing that's actually really cool, kind of like touching on like what I was saying earlier, is people who have been through like a lot of stuff and are like killing it now, because those people like are taking like adversity or like their like apathy with like things of just like not caring about like what people say, and they're just like running with it. Just having that like people are going to say what they want to say, or there's always going to be somebody who's going to roast you, or like who's going to just not like something that you do. Anyway, because we aren't all the same. We aren't all the same. We weren't all raised the same way. We all have different mindsets. You know what I mean? Like blah, blah, blah. We're not all the same people, you know? And it's just so just don't, if they're not relevant to you, don't worry about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't worry about well,
just pick and choose what you're choosing to focus on, because you know what I mean? Like the amount of time that you spend like worrying about what other people are doing and commenting on what other people are doing is time that you're taking away from stuff that you could be doing. Stuff that you could be doing to improve yourself. Like, and I see this the most like on the weekends, like on Saturday when I get back from the gym, I don't have a whole lot going on. Like I didn't have a lot going on, so I'm just sitting at home and I'm checking social media way too much, and I just see myself like, oh man, like fuck that, like that's pissing me off, that's getting me angry, and I feel myself wanting to comment on some stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that, because like, why would I want to get like that's going to start something that I don't need to get involved in, and it's going to take too much time out of my life. But
well, and think about how
I'm just doing it because I'm bored.
Yeah, exactly. Think about how angry you get just looking at it. Imagine how much more angry you'd get engaging with it.
Yeah. 100% engaging with it, and then also if I truly did care, like what that person like thought, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm just scrolling through and I see somebody post some dumb stuff that's like, oh, that makes me angry. But like if I'm already in a negative mindset, like I have a shitty job, I have a girlfriend that doesn't like me, haven't had sex in like a month or 2 years, because let's be real, a lot of those internet trolls probably haven't had sex in a while,
or ever,
maybe
ever. There are a lot of incels out there. But yeah, so if I was already in a bad place and then I see that, and that's just like next level anger.
Yeah.
And that's me just for sure typing, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm already a miserable fuck. And now I'm angry.
No, go ahead, Jay.
Get your grind right.
Get your
mind right. And that's cheesy, and it's been sentiment. Well, I stole it, but
you stole it.
I've never actually heard that.
That's us
before.
now, bro.
I've never heard that. Yeah.
Get your grind right, get your mind right. And really what that means is, if everything's going fine in your life and you're doing what you need to do to focus on bettering yourself, you're not going to have time to focus on tearing somebody else down, right? And, that's what everyone needs to do, but nobody does it. Everyone just sits with a shitty job that they hate, and they continue to stay in the shitty job, or they continue staying in a relationship with a person who doesn't like them, or they continue doing this, and because of that breeds this hate and like animosity towards that other person, and really towards everybody. And so then that's what causes people to respond to shit that has nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
If they took time to focus on bettering themselves, they probably wouldn't suck so much.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
It's not even like necessarily even just bettering themselves. It's just figuring out something like your outlook on how something is, and like that looking for the negative, that's a mindset that you develop. Like that's something like if you're constantly like always approaching something with a negative attitude, you're going to find the negative instantly. But if you're trying to look at things with a positive attitude, you're going to find the positives in there, and the negatives aren't going to weigh on you as much, right?
Exactly,
like, If you're in a good mood, if you're smiling, if you have friends that care about you, if you have a family that cares about you, if you have girls, a girl or a guy that cares about you.
Girls.
If you got multiple bitches that care about you. No, if you
Sorry, keep going. No, he was being that was good. Keep going. That was good. Keep going.
Fucking Spice. Spice Adams. No, but if you got like a support system that cares about you, or even if you have a job that you enjoy, or if you have something in your life that you enjoy, that's going to change how you interact with the world. So it's like we talk about like bettering yourself all the time. It's like that's such a like huge huge topic, and it's like overwhelming almost. It's like, how do I make myself better, right? But it's like you have to figure out ways to improve your mood, and that's what's going to help better your life, because improving your mood is going to improve how you approach things, which is going to improve how things interact with you, right?
Yeah, you just have to think of things in terms of flights of stairs, right? You don't just get to the top flight by fucking levitating.
Yeah.
You have to climb each flight of stairs. If there's 10 flights of stairs, you don't just automatically go from the first to the 10th. You have to get to the second before you can get to the third, right?
It's a process.
So it's just everything is a process, and I think that a lot of people get so overwhelmed with life and with what they want to make them happy. They don't take you need to just take a fucking breath of fresh air and really just cut down everything and dissect your life and figure out one specific thing at a time. Like, what is it exactly I need to focus on today? And then that specific thing is what you need to focus on to make yourself happy. And when you have capitalized on that, and that is what makes you happy now, then you focus on the next thing.
Yeah.
And there's your life is a puzzle, and everyone's just trying to put the pieces together for themselves. Yeah. Everyone's puzzle is completely different. You know what I mean? And some people's
and there's no right way to put the
there's no
together.
way there's no right way to put. I can't put your puzzle together. Only you can, because only you know how.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that like people don't take the time to figure out what actually makes them happy.
Yeah.
And they have this idea of what they think will make them happy. And I think that's why a lot of people run into some issues, is because A, they don't take the time to actually figure out what's going to make them happy, or B, they have a false expectation of what is going to make them happy. And so they pursue that, and then they get to that point and they're like, oh, that didn't make me happy. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, oh, I want to make a lot of money, right? But why do you want to make a lot of money?
Exactly.
Like why do you want to be a billionaire? Why do you want to be a millionaire? Why do you want to own this company? Why do you want to start a brand? Like somebody was reaching out to me the other day. Like he's like, was it hard to start a brand? I was like, no, well, not really, because like if you have an idea of what you want and like why you're doing it, like it's super easy to start a brand. It's really hard to start a successful brand, right? Like everyone can start a brand. I could pay a screen printer. I can start a social media. I can buy a domain name. I could start a brand tomorrow with like no money, right? Yeah. But like that's just going to be like every other brand, right? Like what's the meaning behind it, right? Like why do you want to start that brand? Right. Like do you want to just start a brand to have a brand to be like, hey, I own my own company? Or you want to start a brand because you want to make a change, or you want to make a difference, or you want to impact this part of the market? Like,
and that kind of comes back to keep getting uncomfortable. And that kind of comes back to who you are as a person, because who you are as a person reflects whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And everyone who follows you, or everyone who supports you or your brand, should, in theory, be supporting you because of who you are. Yeah. And if you're genuine about who you are and you know who you are, then that'll reflect in every single thing that you do, which is going to cause growth and success in your brand or whatever you're trying to sell or anything like that, right? Because that's what people buy in for. Yeah. People are buying into the idea of you because people pay for excitement, right? If you're not an exciting person, how do you become exciting? You just be yourself, man. Yeah. Guess what?
That's the biggest key.
And if you're not an exciting person, well, get with someone who is exciting.
Yeah. Well, that's also. So I was watching the show on Netflix, right? The Circle. I don't know if you saw it.
So I seen you tweet about it.
So it's basically like a reality show, right? And it's a reality show, and it's basically like 8 people. They put them in this hotel. They never meet each other. They only interact on this social media platform that's created for them. Interesting. Right? It's kind of so cool. Like you put up your profile picture, you tell them all the information about yourself or whatever.
And it's actually their information.
It can be either their information, or they can use somebody completely. They can catfish people if they wanted to, right?
Okay.
So, and there's like 2 people on there in particular. Well, I'm not going to spoil a lot, but basically, I'll talk about the first two episodes, right? Like everyone gets on there. There's some people that are like, hey, I'm a model and I want to, I want to portray myself a little bit differently so that people take me seriously, right? So she's not going to be herself necessarily. And then there's like some nerdy like Indian guy, and he's like, I hate social media. I'm just going to be myself, and if people like me, they'll like me, right? And then there's another guy. He's like, I'm just going to be myself too, right? I'm going to be real. And then there's a couple people that are just like a little bit faker, right? Yeah. And it's amazing. Like it starts out like the initial reaction has these faker people at the top, right? Like they're more beautiful, they're more attractive than the Indian guys at the very bottom, right? The initial rankings of popularity. Yeah. And then like as it progresses, the Indian guy becomes number 1 by like the second episode. The Indian guy's like number 1, and it's like the real people made it to the top. The people that were putting on a show fell to the bottom, because at the end of the day, the realness comes across. Whether, even though it's just pictures and like whatever, the real you always shines through, and people can recognize fakeness, right?
Yeah.
So it at the end of the day, being real is much more acceptable,
right?
You know, than fake. Like, because once you're called out for being fake, nowadays you're branded, right? Like, that's you. You're fake. You're a
phony,
fraud.
man.
You're a phony. Nobody likes you.
Yeah. Who are you on camera versus who are you off camera? I think like, what's his name? The Paul brothers have been called out for that because they're so well known. They've been called out for that a few times, and people have actually said. Bradley Martin actually talked about it in his Bros Versus or whatever podcast that he has with Dom. He was Bradley was actually like, no, like Logan's actually like exactly the same. Like as he like you would think like. He's just the same. He didn't talk about Jake Paul, but he was just like he's like the same person.
No, I could see that. Like I've watched enough like interviews with him, and like he comes across as like a genuine guy. Like I'm sure initially when he started, there was like a little bit of like accentuating like different aspects of his personality, maybe like over dramatic, over going into like. Like he probably like amplified a few aspects of his personality.
Well, you know what, dude? Everybody is an actor, right? Like, and when it comes in terms of social media and everything like that, there's some things you have to play up just a little bit, just to cater a little bit, you know, to people, to get people interested and excited. But I don't think
it's a
that
part of your social
exactly, and I don't think that at any point when you're playing things up a little bit, should you ever go outside of actually who you are.
No,
Because playing things up a little bit, but still actually being that person is completely different than not being
portraying someone
who you're
completely
portraying.
different,
right.
Doing all this crazy shit that you don't actually like to do, and getting people interested in these things that you're doing, but you don't like doing them, but you're just doing them to get these people hooked, right? Then they're going to meet you, and they're going to want to talk to you about this cool stuff that you do, and you're going to be like, ooh, I actually don't like these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I started posting pictures of me posted up on like a Lamborghini that I rented with like strippers in the background and like, you know, like
I bet you that would
gold
get
chains.
a million likes.
I would get a bunch of likes, but like people would be, but like I would never be able to keep that up because people would be like, that's not him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it'd be super easy to see through.
Right.
Like they'd be like, who's this douchebag?
I would die if I seen a picture like that on your page.
I'm like, damn,
Your
James.
content's so consistent with like how you are as a person.
And then,
that
and then just all of a
posted
sudden,
that, I'd be
nowhere.
like, what the fuck is going on?
Just me on a Lambo, just like this with a gold chain and like piles of cocaine and a bunch of strippers.
Sounds like a promo or something.
Like James must have went on a trip to Miami or something.
Wait, how did he start affording all this shit?
He's been hanging out with Dan.
Like, what's going on?
That is actually a good idea. There's a big pile of like pre-workout powder.
Yeah.
The
BlastHouse.
Yeah. I don't know.
Slaughter. Yeah. That's the big thing. I mean, that's just being real. Just being genuine. You don't have to come on camera. You don't have to flip the camera on, do your day in the vlog, like, you know, day in the life vlog and be like, hey, what's up, guys? You know, just woke up, blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously, like you guys were both saying, you're going to turn on a little bit because that's just...
It's entertainment.
Well, it's just entertaining. Like,
yeah. I think the big problem with a lot of people that have this idea of success and it not being genuine is they follow these people, they see this stuff on social media and they think, oh my gosh, like I'm not going to be happy until I have like 50,000 people following me or like all these people following me, but they are trying to be something that they aren't to appeal to these people, so they're not ever getting there, and if they are, it's not sticking.
Well, and if you're trying to do something simply to get people to follow you, then that's the wrong reason. You're doing stuff for the wrong reason.
And
Same thing with doing things specifically for money.
Yeah.
If you're doing something specifically to gain, you know, wealth, then you're probably not doing it for the right reason. You know,
and you're not going to be happy in the long run because what happens when you get that 50,000 followers? You're going to be like, oh shit, I want 100,000 now, but like, why? Like, you're never going to be satisfied because you're never really accomplishing a goal. Like, what's the purpose? And those people, they're not going to give a fuck about you.
Right.
Like, why do they care about you?
Yeah.
Or they're gonna follow you on social media and then they're gonna meet you in person. They're gonna be like, you're completely different. Like, I hate you.
Yeah, they're like, who the fuck is this?
Or it's just gonna stress you out because you're like, oh, now I have to be like that all the time. Now I have to live out this fantasy world that I created.
Right. It's like they like you, they don't like you, they want something you have, they're entertained by you, or trolls or just whatever.
It's just not. It's just not good for your soul too, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what happens if social media disappears? What happens if your what if you're that girl and your Instagram gets deleted tomorrow?
Yeah,
That's
and you have nothing besides that.
how crazy would that be? Like, think about that. Like, Instagram just gets deleted tomorrow. Like, what happens?
Or just your account, just in
Yeah.
general. Like,
Or
I know a
just-
bunch of people that have lots of followers that just got their accounts just deleted.
I
one
would
day.
just start over, I guess. I don't know.
You'd start over, but
Yeah.
it'd be like, if you're attaching all your self-worth to that account and
Right.
who you are on social media,
right.
and like you've attached all this like power to it, and then it goes away, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. One thing people need to do, and actually when I was living in Vegas, Bradley Martin had a really good video that I liked a lot. And it was actually kind of one thing that really attracted me to like his personality and who he really is as a person is he said, guys, honestly, like one thing that kind of just keeps me going with everything and just kind of keeps me like focused is I wake up, and I mean, I don't know if he does it every day, but he's done it enough to where he's figured out who he is and what he wants to do. And he wakes up and he thinks about things that he has and like what he like was grateful for way before he had his this was like almost 5 years ago. So this was like before his gym, and I think before his brand also, because I don't think his brand's been around for.
I feel like being fit's been around forever.
I feel like
Has it
he's
been
had
around?
clothing for a long time,
Maybe it has been around for actually.
but he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Back since he was working out at fucking Barbell Brigade.
Yeah,
2013.
Yeah.
Squatting like 6 plates, or
Doing
whatever.
everything belt. Well, he does everything beltless anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah.
He's a monster. But just having, I think everybody should, and this is real and it's kind of scary, and I can actually relate to this in a certain way. But if you sit there and you think, what makes me happy, or like, what am I grateful for, and you can't think of anything, and I know this from experience, like I know like if there's times where you can't think of anything, you gotta kind of like just take a step back and be like, okay, because that's going to, if you're alone with your thoughts and you don't necessarily have a reasoning for doing something, you don't have a goal like for anything, you're gonna be I think you're just gonna be a sad person. You're gonna be
it's a mood killer.
Yeah. No, I mean, because think about it's. I mean, honestly, like I think you will be that will put you in a funk, and if that snowballs, and it gets to a point where if you're not only always finding the negative in things because you don't have this, or you're so unhappy inside that you're like unleashing it on other people, that's gonna unfold. That's gonna become everything. That's gonna become your life. That's gonna become how you see everything, and that's scary. Like, that's not a good thing.
It's going to lead to some major depression. I think that's kind of part of the reason why there is so much, like why depression is such a huge issue nowadays. Like, there's so many people out there that don't have things that make them genuinely happy.
Yeah.
And they get so hung up on the things that they think that are going to make them happy, or that they associate with happiness, and they don't necessarily get there.
Yeah.
Because it's not actually something that, like, I think a lot of it, like social media gets a huge rap on like causing depression and all this, like especially with young kids. But I think the reason it's causing depression is not because of people see like, put their self-worth into it. I think it's more like you see all these people on social media that are making lots of money and doing like really cool things on social media, and all these young kids are like, I want to do that. I want to do that too. I want to become social media famous as well.
Yeah.
But it's like, why do you really want to become social media famous? Like,
They
you
just are
want
just talking
like
out their
you
ass.
you don't. Maybe that's not going to genuinely make you happy. Maybe make you temporarily happy, or you think it's going to make you happy.
Right.
And so you're working so hard for this goal to become social media famous, or TikTok famous, or Twitter famous, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're working on it, and it's not easy, right? Like, it's not super easy to become famous on there. Like, some people blow up overnight, but most people don't. And it's hard to stand out, right? And it's maybe not necessarily what you genuinely want. Like, so you got to find something that makes you happy. Like, find a hobby, find something like that you can kind of devote yourself to, that even if you're working a shitty job that you don't like, obviously we want to change that. That's not a super easy fix overnight, but create something else in your life that you can enjoy and brings you happiness, because that will bring you joy and happiness, and then that will help help you along the way, because it'll open up other opportunities for you to maybe leave that job, find something, maybe make your hobby into a passion, into a job, into a career or a business down the road. But like, just figure out something small that makes you happy. Like, hey, I like to draw, or start drawing more, you know, or hey, I like to make, you know, videos. Make some videos in your off time, or I like to play video games. You can make a career out of video games nowadays. If you're doing it, but like, start creating a hobby that you actually enjoy. Don't just do it because, hey, this is going to get me more likes on Instagram, or this is going to get me, you know, more views on YouTube. This is going to be more subscribers, or this is going to make me a lot more money. Like, just because it's going to make you more money doesn't mean it's going to make you happy, dude.
Well, and a good way to look at it too is life is basically like a big science experiment, right? And the overall outcome is to see what makes you happy. Well, just like in experiments, you have variables that you can control, right? And some that you can't control. There's some things in your life that you can't control, so you know that those are always going to be there. But you have a lot of variables in your life that you can control. And those are the things that you need to manipulate and change in order to get that result that you're looking for in the experiment, which is to be happy. And I think that if people look at it like that, you know, then it'll be a lot easier to find what it is in their life that they're able to change. Or maybe it'll be easier for them to realize that there are things in their life that they can change, because some people don't realize that they can change aspects of their life, you know?
I would say you could change pretty much every aspect of your life outside of like skin color or age. Like, and even skin color you can kind of change a little bit, but like, you can change you can change pretty much everything. The only thing that really dictates that is like time. Like, time is a big factor in a lot of that. So like, you can't change everything tomorrow. But in the long grand scheme of things, you can change pretty much everything. Like, you don't like your family, you don't get along with your family,
you don't have to associate.
You don't have to associate with your family. You don't like your job, you don't have to work that job. But like, you can change that over time. You don't like where you're living or what kind of car you're driving, you can change that. It just takes time, right? There's little things that you can change today. You can change to like right now, like your eating habits, or working out more, or reaching out to somebody that maybe you haven't talked to or that you want to associate with. Like, you can change certain things right now, and then certain things are just going to take a little bit more time. But you can change whatever you want to change.
Exactly. And I think it all derives from, you guys have probably heard this like several times, is everybody just has the mindset switched these days. Everybody just like, most people is what I'll say, is people have this idea, and it's good. You're always going to be sad if you think like this, is people think, I'm not going to be happy until I'm successful. And that's not at all how it works. I'm not going to be success. Is that right? Did I say it wrong?
I'm not going to be happy until I'm successful.
I don't know if I said it. I don't know if I said it backwards. But you guys know
you have to be happy to be successful.
You need to be happy to be successful. Depending on, and it's all relative, depending on what we're talking about here. But
the definition of success can change from person to person.
And that's what I was going to say.
But generally, overall, you would have to be happy, at least in some aspects of your life, to be successful. Like, you're not going to be a miserable fuck and just be like, hey, I'm successful. Like, you're rich, but are you actually successful?
Oh, yeah. Well, Gary Vee talks about that, specifically about the dollar amount, not necessarily, and you guys know that, not necessarily making you a very happy person.
Well, there's like, they did a study like a couple of years ago. There's like the set amount that once you get to that amount, you can the amount of happiness that you gain starts decreasing, right? Like, once you get to a certain amount, your happiness kind of peaks, and then everything above that doesn't necessarily raise your happiness at the same rate of the money increasing, right? And I think it was like $77,000, and like that's like the level at which, like, all your bills are paid, like, so you don't have the stress of your bills, and you have enough extra income to be able to do some fun things, right? Like, you can't do everything. You can't like have $1 million house, but you can have like a nice house, a nice car, and you can go on some nice trips, right?
You have a $600,000 house, and pay like a $4,000 a month mortgage,
right? Like, you have some disposable income, basically, and so like, but like everything above like $77,000 like doesn't raise your happiness at the same rate as the amount going up. Like you could make $150,000 and that's going to raise your happiness a little bit, but it's not going to raise it as much as you think it would.
Right.
Yeah, because everyone stresses out about bills. Everyone stresses out about bills. Everyone stresses out about payments and things like that they need to make. So if you're making money to cover all those things, then now that you don't have that level of stress, now you should be a lot happier. But then when you get out, like you're saying, like then if you keep making more money, well, you already cover everything. Yeah. So then what are you doing with this extra? You know what I mean?
At that point, like that's why like I get a little frustrated when people say like money can't buy you happiness. Yeah, to an extent, money can't buy you happiness, but at a baseline level, money can buy you a certain amount of happiness. Like once you get to that level where you don't have to stress about how you're going to pay your bills, and you can do generally pretty much whatever you want. I would say you're pretty happy, right?
Yeah.
Right. But that's like baseline happy. And now everything above that is like other things like goals, family, like all that additional stuff. But you have to get to that baseline happiness before money stops being able to buy you happiness.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. It's just, and I think the thing is ultimately kind of like unfortunately, like, I mean, some people might disagree with this because you have people that are like, oh, I mean, you can do anything. Like, you can do anything you set your mind to, like, to a point. And I get it. I get that for sure. But I think we live in a day and age where there are so many people, and we have people who are going to really excel and are going to be the runners in life and are going to make tons of money, are going to, doing what they love. And we have, sorry, I'm not at all shitting on this job title, but we have janitors for company. You know what I mean? We have people who are janitors. We got people who take out the trash. You know what I'm saying? There has
to be people across all the ranges of spectrum, right? Because
exactly,
you're not going to find some like dude that's making $150,000 a year. You can be like, hey, dude, you got to work as a janitor now, making like
that, and $10
grand a year.
That janitor, not at all saying that that's
no. He might be incredibly
the happiest
happy.
guy. He might be a happy guy. Might have a great family. You know what I mean? I'm just saying people shouldn't look at things and only see that dollar amount and that's what they need to be happy. You need to figure out what your passion is, and you need to hold on to that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to figure out because you're going to have all these distractions and all these things that are going to, friends that are going to be like, you can't do that. Or like, don't do that. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Like, don't go for that. You need to figure out what.
It's not your friends then.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, literally. Yeah. If they don't want, like what we talked about, might have been one of the. I can't remember if it was in one of the podcasts that we didn't go with, but it was when we talked about we see each other's stuff on Instagram. And we like it immediately before we even like read it. You know what I'm saying? Like I see you guys post something, I support you guys, or I watch your guys' stories and I tune in and I listen. What are you guys up to today? You know what I'm saying? I support you guys. I will never see you guys post something and be like, stop doing that.
Why are you posting that?
Why are you doing that? Because
even if I thought like, damn, that's a stupid post, West.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna like it though because it's a post.
Yeah, I'm a controversial one in this group. But I mean, that just boils down to I like to think of like my page as almost kind of like a personality, like as an Instagram personality. But it's like I feel like it's really me. Like, don't you guys? It's me. I'm not being fake.
So, you just got to post what you want to post, man. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, real will shine through. And even if people don't necessarily vibe with it right away, people are going to vibe with it.
And I'm not ever going to get on my page, find someone and just put them down for no reason whatsoever. That's not what I'm about. You know what I mean? I'm not like that.
I don't support that.
There's certain stuff that I think is funny and I just go with it. I don't know, like it's just whatever.
You gotta be you,
like,
man.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what it all boils down to. And I think people seriously need to do some soul searching and figure out what they are happy for. Did it come off the thing? It did. Oh shit.
Jeremy's just too violent over that. No, going back to your point though, like that's the thing too, is like there are those people that are going to be successful no matter what they do, and then there are going to be those people that like no matter how much you push them to be successful or do positive things in their life, they're not going to do it, right? Like they're not going to listen to you. Like, and we have to just come to terms with that, right? And being able to recognize that and be like, you know what? Like, I can't tell you how to be successful anymore, like, because you're not going to listen to me, right? Like, you got to figure it out on your own at this point. and it's okay to write people off.
Yeah.
It's totally all right to write people off. Like if you've told somebody like multiple times how to do something and they're continually not doing it, like at a certain point, you can't continue to waste your time with that. Like they're gonna figure it out eventually, or they're not.
Yeah.
But continuing to stress about trying to change other people's lives, if they're not willing to change, at a certain point, like it sounds harsh, but like at a certain point, you can't change somebody who they are internally, right?
And it's the thing that's tough with that with a lot of people, and where I actually get into discussions with people, it's tough is when it's family. When it's family, and that's kind of something that was a big issue, like specifically like with my family, was like with my older brother, and like, dude, if it's exactly like what you just said, if it's just if you can only tell somebody something so many times, you can only give somebody, like somebody could come in this room and give us the recipe on how to make $1 million. Right. Are we going to do something?
Are we going to follow it? Right. Are we going to do every step like we need to?
Yeah.
Or are we just going to be like, oh, whatever? Yeah. And like kind of go off on our own.
Which most people do that.
Yeah. Like it's huge, especially in the diet industry. Like losing weight is not a tough thing, right? Like there's so much information out there. There's literally 1,000 diet plans out there how to lose some weight, right? Like all you have to do is follow that plan, right? It sounds easy. All you have to do is follow that plan. You'll lose the weight. People don't do it. People don't follow that plan.
But do you have the discipline?
You could lay out that whole exactly. You have the discipline to follow it. Like there's how many videos are there about how to grow your social media or how to build a business? Like,
that's why I hate when people are. Oh, sorry to cut you off again.
You're good.
Like I know people who are like, oh man, I'm on this diet and it's really easy. It's like this is exactly what I say. Every diet is easy.
Yeah.
All you have to do is follow it.
Right.
The thing is you don't want to follow other diets. You want to follow this one. So that's what makes it that's what makes the diet easy. It's not the fact that it is simple. It's the fact that you are actually following it. Yeah. That's it.
They're all simple. They're all easy to follow. It's the effort that goes into following it. Are you willing to do that on a consistent basis? Are you willing to do that when it's not fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because eventually it'll get to a point where it's not that fun to do.
I've had clients over the years that I've worked with and laid out diet, laid out exercise, laid out recovery, laid out everything for them, and they follow it for a little bit, they fall off. And it's like, well, how many times can I tell you what to do? Like, I can only tell you so many. I can't literally be at your house putting the food in your mouth. Like
that
I can't lift the weights for you. I can't do all this stuff for you. At a certain point, you have to take over responsibility for it. And it's like that's how it is in life, right? Like there's going to be some people that like you only have to tell them once, or you don't even necessarily have to tell them. They could just read it off of you. They're going to follow it. And then there's going to be people that you're going to have to continually tell, and they may or may not follow it. Like, and at a certain point, you might have to write them off. Like I've done that. Like with my family, I don't talk to my mom at all. We haven't talked in years.
Yeah, because
at a certain point, it got to the point where it's like the amount of negativity and like bad vibes and just toxicity that was being like brought into my life.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't continually be like, you know what, I can't deal with that right now. Like, I can't deal with that. Like at a certain point, you just have to end it, and it sucks, and it's not great. But it's like at a certain point, you can't continually repeat yourself. You can't continually surround yourself. It's hard, but you have to be able to cut people off at a certain point.
There's a certain level of selfishness, respect you have to have for yourself to not continuously be like. That's why a lot of really good people and a lot of very selfless people kind of get shit on in this world because they get taken advantage of by people who are very toxic and people who see that and know that they can get away with things.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier.
Yeah,
like putting all my reliance in that company to do their job, and that's on me because not everyone is going to want to move at the same rate you want. And not everyone is going to want to succeed as well as you.
Right.
But damn, dude. This is a pretty good one, I think.
Yeah, it is really good. I'm getting
First
hungry.
episode of the new year.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Bang, bang.
I don't even know what episode this is, but
I think it's like 60.
Is it 60? Let me check.
It's the big 60, the big goose.
No, it's 58.
Okay.
Almost there.
58.
Yeah.
We're almost there though.
60 episodes in. Jesus.
Yeah.
And so the new year, new us. New year, new podcast. So we're gonna start coming a little bit more consistently with the good content, with the fire content. We're actually gonna have some guests in the next couple weeks. We were supposed to have a guest today, it didn't work out, but c'est la vie.
Hey, being accountable for things, accountability. I almost got a speeding ticket, but I got here.
Yeah.
I was late.
Wes
though.
did get pulled over on his way here.
Sold out for the podcast to get here on time.
Sold out for the podcast to get here.
And then didn't even need to. Didn't get started on time.
Hey, but at least it got me. But you know what? That I got here 19 minutes early.
Yeah.
Technically, before when we were doing it. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Go.
But yeah, new podcast coming in weekly. We're gonna get back on the regular Monday schedule, even if it requires us knocking out a few in advance. And I think we're actually going to get into the point where we're going to be able to do 2 a week. We're going to hopefully get ahead, really far ahead at the LA Fit. I'm stoked for it.
coming up. What are we at? Like 3 weeks? Are we
It's
like
3 weeks, dude.
Yeah,
It
I
was
need
like
to.
3 weeks from yesterday.
I need to do 10 hours of cardio every day.
Yeah.
Like,
I know I need to.
yeah. I'm gonna.
For some
We're
reason,
going to document this, the 3 week cut for both of you two.
I'm gonna start it today. I will. I'm
I'm gonna start it after today.
I'm gonna.
I'm really hungry, so I don't know what I'm about to go eat.
about to slam some in and out donuts. And then
I got 3 Flying Dutchmen last night. And
They're so good.
but that's not that bad though. I
it's
mean,
just the patty, right?
It's
Patty
just
and cheese?
patty
Well,
and cheese.
it's super high in fat.
Yeah.
If you, so I have my Fitness Pal, and back when I was dieting or like watching what I was eating,
yeah.
I would get Flying Dutchman, and I was like, Jesus, like I think there's like 35 grams of fat per Flying Dutchman.
Ooh, this is a cheese, huh?
So you had 3,
I had.
and they don't use lean beef.
so that is 105 grams of fat.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, they do not use 99.
They do not use that 90.
They use that 70-30.
In and out. Fuck you guys. I'm never coming back. I'm just kidding. Just joking.
You would think on their like protein style burger that they'd use like a leaner cut of
I
beef
thought the
burger.
macros on that. I thought Steve Cook in a video one time said that the
Yeah,
macros.
but see,
were-
he's not doing 3, and he's probably not.
yeah.
He's probably eating pretty clean the rest of the day.
Yeah, and he does like he custom everywhere he goes. He has like his custom like orders for things, and he did like light spread, protein style. I think something. I think I don't know.
You
if he
can't
did
get any
cheese
of the
and-
toppings, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't think you get cheese. I don't think you
Yeah.
get cheese.
I think he. Yeah. So
Yeah.
not the
So Wes is off to that diet on a roaring start right now.
I'm gonna do the Kino body. I'm gonna do a 48-hour fast. I'm gonna do a 48-hour fast.
You're gonna get that superhero body like Greg. What's his face?
Gregorio Gallagher. Yeah.
Don't get me started on that.
I hate that guy.
Man, I just don't.
You know, hey, we don't hate anyone.
I don't.
We're
like
positive.
That guy. He's
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
I don't like what he's about. I don't like the vibe he gives
His
off.
Well, and you know
demeanor
what?
with
Either do
things,
I.
how he- yeah.
Either do I, and I don't follow him or anything.
But
No.
he pops up on my shit all the
I
time.
don't know how.
Oh, it's just his.
That Instagram algorithm just be favoring him, or he's spending a lot of money on ads.
There has to be a certain way where if you know, I mean, again, we don't know who runs Instagram, but there has to be some kind of way that like certain people, not only just popularity wise, by like how many followers they have, but like how certain people are getting.
Into your explore page,
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah, he's always on my Discover feed.
Why do I have so many fucking keys?
You know,
Key man.
I just did that. I just organized mine.
Anyway, yeah, blasthouse.com. Check it out. Sign up for the newsletter.
February.
We started a new YouTube channel for the podcast. It's not for the week anymore. But click the link in the bio because we don't have any subscribers yet, so we can't set the custom link yet. And yeah, so check out the link in the bio. Go subscribe. Gonna start uploading clips from the episodes onto that because I think that'll be cool. And yeah,
Make sure to follow us all on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook or
tweets.
whatever. My handle is Jeremy New GC. I'm really more active on Instagram than I am on Twitter. Eventually that'll
and he's
change.
not even really.
And I'm not very active on Instagram.
either.
But follow me if you want to. When I do post, they're okay pictures. So
I think they're fire.
Follow him to make sure he's accountable for LA. That's for sure.
there you go.
You guys, be accountable.
And if you're going to LA
talking to
Fit, let
myself.
us know because we're gonna be there.
Yeah, I'll
It's gonna
be there.
Dope.
Mooney will be there.
We're all
Wes
gonna
will
be
be there.
I'll be there.
Yep. Anyway, follow us all on social media. All the links below. And we'll talk to you guys next time. Stay savage, my friends. Peace.
Peace.